Hey friends, good evening. Shoot him back, good deal, good kill. Alright, pay attention to how this fight starts, because the opening sets the tone for everything that follows. We're back in the F-16 Viper, finally taking on the Jazz 39 Gripen, a matchup viewers have been asking for. On the surface, it feels familiar. The Gripen even looks F-16-ish. Similar size, similar role, and that similarity can lull you into bad assumptions. At the merge, the choice is immediate: split S. The goal is clear: drag the Gripen into a two-circle fight, where the F-16 usually feels comfortable. And early on, it works. The Gripen slips underneath, the Viper pulls up, and for a moment, this looks controlled. The F-16 gets onto his 6, advantage position. This should be the setup. But then comes the mistake. A shot opportunity appears, and closure isn't managed. Too fast, too aggressive. The shot doesn't land. So the pilot goes vertical, assuming the Gripen won't be able to follow. That assumption is wrong. The Gripen does follow, and suddenly the energy gap disappears. The pilot even calls it out himself. I should have gotten slower there. And that one line explains everything. In modern dogfights, speed without control isn't dominance, it's vulnerability. The Gripen capitalizes, the situation turns ugly fast, and the Viper pays for a small but critical error. This isn't about which jet is better, it's about how fast a single assumption can flip the fight, and this is just the opening move. If you don't manage closure, this is what happens to you. And today, that lesson comes the hard way. Right here, the tone changes. The confidence is still there, but now it's corrected confidence. The pilot admits it outright. The Gripen was underestimated. That mistake is logged, not repeated. Now comes adaptation. The split S worked earlier, but doing it again would be predictable, and predictability in a dogfight is an invitation to die. So the plan shifts. Same objective, different execution. Still forcing the two-circle fight, because that's the F-16's identity, but this time without handing the Gripen an easy read. You'll notice something subtle but important here: Greek colors on the jet. Symbolic? Maybe, but psychologically, pilots fly differently when they feel like they're representing something. Risk gets calculated more carefully. The Gripen comes up into the vertical. The nose gets pointed. For a moment, it's almost head-on. The pipper is there. The shot is there, but it's not taken. That restraint matters. Instead of gambling on a messy head-on, the pilot chooses discipline, maneuvering for a clean 6, a controlled kill. That tells you this fight is no longer rushed. Speed becomes the obsession now. 350 knots minimum. 430 knots is the sweet spot. But gravity doesn't care about preferences. Speed bleeds. 300 knots, 290. That's danger territory. The Gripen tries to lure this into a one-circle mess, but the geometry runs out. Near the deck, options disappear. The Gripen is forced to transition. And there it is, the exit, the dump of the nose. Two-circle fight, on the deck. An F-16 in a two-circle, low-altitude fight is exactly where the Gripen does not want to be. This is what learning mid-fight looks like.
This is about as bad as it gets for the Gripen. Low altitude, two-circle, an F-16 that finally has its discipline back. The Viper starts pulling him in, tightening the circle. The Gripen tries to stay evasive, but geometry doesn't lie. Nose tracks, pipper settles, and impact. Left wing gone. That's it. Once you're two-circle on the deck against an F-16, outcomes stop being uncertain. That's not hype. That's physics and sustained turn rate doing their job. The kill is clean, decisive, and completely earned. And notice something important here. There's no gloating. The pilot resets immediately. Best 2 out of 3. Because even after getting splashed, the Gripen is still treated with respect. It's called a formidable foe for a reason. In a different setup, especially a Fox 2 high-off boresight fight, this result could flip fast. The Gripen's instantaneous turn performance and missile angles would make this a very different conversation. So for the final round, the mindset is clear: unpredictability. No repeating patterns, no lazy split S. Keep it horizontal this time. The Gripen goes vertical, reacting to what worked before. That tells you he's reading patterns. So the Viper denies him that comfort and drags it right back into the 2-circle. Because this is a rate fight. 2-circle means nose chasing tail. And in a rate fight, there's only one rule that matters. Whoever controls the circle controls the outcome. That's the real lesson of this engagement.
This is where the fight turns from instinct into pure math. Let's clarify something quickly, because a lot of people mix this up. A 1-circle fight is nose to nose. That's a radius fight. Whoever can carve the tighter circle wins. A 2-circle fight is nose chasing tail. That's a rate fight. And rate is where the F-16 lives. That's why the speed rule matters so much here. In the Viper, 350 knots is survival speed. Above it, you have options. Below it, you start losing them fast. If the opponent tries to drag you into the HUD for a snapshot, that extra airspeed gives you an escape. You can climb, reposition, do something else. Dip below 350, and suddenly the enemy can slow you down, control the geometry, and force you into a 1-circle fight you never wanted. Right now, the advantage is clear: altitude. Altitude isn't just height, it's stored energy, gravitational potential waiting to be cashed in. As the Viper comes down, that potential turns into speed. That speed turns into nose authority when Gs are pulled. That's energy management in real time. Lock achieved. Gripen back on the deck. 2-circle again. Exactly where the F-16 wants this fight. The Gripen pulls tight, trying to win with radius. But the Viper has speed in reserve. And when you have speed, you get choices. So the decision is made. Go vertical. This time, it works. Not because the maneuver changed, but because the energy state did. That's the difference between surviving a dogfight and controlling one. This time, the calculation is clean. The climb goes up, and now there's confidence behind it. The Gripen tries to follow, but that attempt only makes things worse for him. Every extra degree of pitch costs him speed he doesn't have, and that's the trap. The goal isn't the vertical itself, it's what comes after. The Viper immediately pulls it back into a 2-circle. The Gripen resists, but resistance needs energy, and he's already running on fumes. Look at him now, slow, dangerously slow. The F-16 starts rebuilding speed while controlling geometry. No rush, no desperation, just patience. The nose comes up, the HUD fills, a few shots, and yeah, that's a hit. Not catastrophic, but enough, and that matters. Because once you damage a jet that's already slow, the clock starts ticking. The Gripen goes vertical again, but now it's instinct, not strategy. He's hurt, still slow, still bleeding energy. At this point, the F-16 is dictating everything. It almost turns playful, but that's where discipline kicks back in. Underestimating a wounded opponent is how dogfights flip. The Gripen tries one last climb through the HUD, and then the mistake. Terrain closes in, a building flashes past, geometry collapses. The nose lines up almost effortlessly. That's it. Kill confirmed. And here's the honest takeaway. The Gripen wasn't easy. It was slippery, clever, and punished early mistakes hard. But once the F-16 cleaned up its energy management, the outcome became inevitable. Not because the Gripen is weak, but because control beats chaos every time. That's how this fight ends.